So I've always wanted to do one of these voiceovers. I've been doing a couple videos with just some like background music, but I want to do a voiceover. And so this is our first attempt. You can see Sean just gets his rod set down in that holder. We're fishing for rainbow trout out on Clear Lake near Medical Lake, Washington. And they're ranging at about a pound. But fishing's just been excellent. I've just been crushing the rainbows out there. So I invited Sean out after work. So we get out on the water, get everything baited up. We're working on the second pole, and the action's looking kind of funny. So we're looking at it, kind of just sitting there, getting ready to set our first troll and all this. And we're looking at this and looking at this, and yeah, it looks okay, looks good. Should probably catch something. I don't know. Put it out there and see what happens. And so he starts setting that back, and it hasn't even been a full minute yet. You know, we're just gonna check the speed, looking at that. Sean looks down, goes, "That kind of looks like a fish. Let me set this other rod down and pick this one up." So he picks this one up and starts reeling it in, and he just got back from Alaska where he was catching like big salmon and halibut. So these little trout, he's muscling it in there, and he's like, "Oh, I lost it." So we gotta knock the cobwebs off of how to catch these little guys, a little lighter on the reel. So 0 for 1 to start, no big deal, right? 1 minute in, first bite, feeling pretty good. So start adjusting stuff, and we've been fishing just a kokanee cut plug, Brad's kokanee cut plug behind a Dodger filled with tuna, 2 ounce dropper weight, about 2 to 3 feet leader between the dropper weight and a Dodger to keep your action from being attenuated from the weight. So it's really nice. You just kind of put your lines in the water. You don't have to use downriggers. You don't have to do anything. Just put that on there, set it out about 50 to 60 feet, puts it down in about 20 to 25 feet of water, start trolling around. And it's been really consistent action. I mean, I did a full length video the other night, about 3 hours of editing down to 12 minutes. I think there was only 3 10-minute sections where we didn't have action, and they weren't consecutive. So we get a drive-by here, and if you watched one of my other videos, I talked about how to take that and strip some line. So I was telling Sean, I was like, "Yeah, you just strip some line. Just go there and strip some line." And you never know. Sometimes that causes that fish to strike. It looks like we might have had a little boat wake right there too. Anyway, fish didn't bite. So we skip ahead here a little bit, and we're fishing along, and I go, "Hey, look, there's fish right there on the finder. We're going to get a bite any second." Bang, fish on. I was like, "Hey, look at me. I'm like Babe Ruth over here calling my shot." So we get this one on, and I'm like, "Well, I saw the fish down there. I wonder if I can see it coming up." No, not the case. So Sean reels it in. We net it, knock it out, throw it in the cooler. The really cool thing about fishing the Brad's kokanees is you just set them right back out. You don't have to rebait anything because the bait's contained within the lure, right? So we had a nibble there. I like to pull up on it, check it, nothing. Okay, moving on. We decided those lines weren't quite very deep, so I set that one out a little deeper. Fishing along, Sean gets another bite. Look at that. Just like that. Just like clockwork. Bing, bang, boom. It's always so interesting to me how like certain lures just get bit over and over and over. I mean, you'll watch later in the video and it switches sides of the boat, and so what gives? Just the right colors at the right time. So Sean's got 2 fish in the boat. He's getting this going. I walk back there, goes, "Hey, look, there's a fish right there. Look at that." So I pick it up, start reeling on it. This is pretty cool. We're already 3 fish in and haven't even made it 10 minutes into our fishing. That might have been longer. So I'm reeling this in, reeling this in. We're pretty lackadaisical about it. Boom. First fish for me in the boat. 3 fish total. Things are going good. Oh, drive by on the right side. Hands are full. I go to reel it. Not there. Just my luck, right? So I think we've gotten 3 fish and had 3 bites beyond those 3 fish. So still pretty good. We finally get a moment to just sit down and start talking, catching up. We're both in the aerospace business, so we do some work together. We were just talking shop, and bang, another fish on. Look at that. Can't even sit down and have a conversation with somebody. Well, it was a drive-by. So Sean, he picks it up. He's not going to strip line. He's going to do the old pull it away, let it die back. Pull it away, let it die back. Both are good methods, you know. So, you know, if you see that drive-by, don't give up on it. As you can see from that other video I did, sometimes it's a minute or two later, and they keep following it, and they'll hit it. And especially when you're fishing these super baits, you still have bait on in their face. So don't give up. You never know. Anyway, Sean sets it down. We keep trolling. Cruising along, cruising along. We start to make a turn here, and I don't know if everybody knows this, but when you turn, the inside rods slow down, the outside rods speed up. So you're changing your speed just by turning, and wouldn't you know it, the inside rod goes off. The inside back rod there. So fish on. This is going to be my second fish of the day. And in the boat it goes. Bang. Look at that. Sean sets it back out. We're talking, cruising around down here. Just enjoying the view. It's such a beautiful lake out here when the weather's nice. Sometimes you get some boaters out there pulling tubes and stuff because there's a military resort there. Well, fish on. So let's watch this for a sec. This pole doesn't have a line counter, so it's really hard to be consistent. So pay attention when we're setting those. We try to do 4 to 5 whips with it, so we know we're getting like 40 to 50 feet out. So anyway, I was saying there's a military resort here. And so a lot of the guys from the Air Force Base come out and they can rent boats. And so you get some boat traffic. But you can see from this video and other ones, sometimes that weight causes a bite. So it's not always a bad thing. And boom, there it is. Again, that same lure. So like I said, sometimes you just get that hot lure, that hot side of the boat. So I'm pretty sure this is number 3 for me. Sean's decided he's going to take a timeout and let me catch all my fish. I don't know. He just how it works, right? Sometimes one side of the boat gets all the fish. So my wife calls. Great. Oh, I'm going to let Sean get it because I'm getting ahead of him. I might have had 4. I forget. 3 or 4. Might have been 4 already by now. So I had to relax from my instinct there and let Sean reel it in. He lost it. Should have let me do it. So I get my phone put down, taken care of. We turn around. There's a little section down here by some buoys, some no-wake buoys that I really like fishing. There's probably, I don't know, a couple hundred yards that I like to fish within there. And it's been pretty productive there. Normally I don't have to go too much further down from there. So we just started spinning some circles in there, and about this time Sean gets a call, and so he's got to take the call, and it's really funny because he's trying to be all serious and talk to somebody, and I'm like, oh, I got a fish. Let me be quiet about this and not make a bunch of noise while he's on the phone. And let's just see. I'll just reel this in, and if you guys know me, I just absolutely hate losing fish, even these little ones. And you'll see here all of a sudden I'm just reeling nice and gentle, taking my time, not fully concentrated because John's not there to net it yet, right? And it wasn't time to net it. Fish got off. I'm like, so mad, so mad. Oh well, I'll set it out. So there's my whips. 3, 4, 5. I'm kind of checking the bottom there, make sure I'm not hung up on the bottom. Everything's good. Cruising along. Another takedown. I think this is like 4 in a row on that left side, and it just hammers it. It's really fun on these ultralights. These are Okuma SST. It's like an 8-foot ultralight, and then the ones on the right side are Okuma Solilo 8-foot ultralights, and they're just really fun with these little fish. I've never really liked like ultralights and having your rod completely bent over, but they're so flexible now. It's awesome. So here we're thinking, all right, we got doubles. He's looking, I'm looking. We're like, what's going on? Well, since I caught my 5 fish, I was like on autopilot and fell asleep and found 10 feet of water. So what do you know? We got weeds to pull up. So we got to reel in all our gear. We got to turn around, go back and unsnag one of them. And we got to get all the weeds off of them, clean them all up. Don't pay attention, folks. Always know how deep you're in and where your gear's at so you're not snagging the bottom and having to clear stuff, lose gear. Very frustrating. So we rebaited, got everything put out. Wasn't a minute after we get stuff baited back out, bang, fish on. Sometimes just rebaiting, getting that fresh scent out there really can help you continue fishing and fishing well, right? So don't be afraid to reel your stuff in and check it once in a while. Sometimes if you have to do it, it's the best thing that happens, right? So we get everything reset. Bang, another fish just like that. I mean, it's just crazy. The bite out there is absolutely ridiculous. You know, people say you never catch fish in the heat of the day. This is like, this is just after work. It's still pretty hot, but the fishing is just great right now. And of course, the lake's been stocked, and it's not completely warm. I think the water temperatures are in the mid 60s still, so it's not completely baked yet. So you can tell I'm totally chill now. I'm like, Sean, there's a fish. You want to get it? You want to get that? I mean, I'm sitting here, but it's your turn, so you better go get that. He's like, I don't want to be done fishing, and he's like, check out that bird over there. I got a fish, and I'm like, cool, reel this fish in. So grab the net. He's reeling it in. Bam, just like that. So I think we were out there an hour and 40 minutes, and we had all of our fish, and it was just a great trip. And I just want to thank Sean for going with me.